This is the new plug-in hybrid version of the Range Rover Sport, and it's a little bit like the gangster Al Capone. I'm not saying that because it looks mean, it's because it's one of the biggest tax dodgers ever, and I'll explain exactly why later in this video. I'll also talk you around the exterior design, the interior, tell you what's different about the hybrid, take it for a drive, and of course launch it to see how quick it is from 0 to 60 miles an hour. Because I'm Matt Watson and you're watching Carwow. Buy, sell, Carwow. Let's start this video by talking about the engine. So you have a 3-litre turbocharged straight 6 petrol engine mated to 140 horsepower electric motor, and combined you can have 2 power outputs, either 440 horsepower or 510 horsepower, which is what this particular version has. Drives all 4 wheels via an 8-speed automatic gearbox. Should be pretty quick, shouldn't it? Should we find out exactly how quick? Let's launch it. Land Rover says that the Range Rover Sport plug-in hybrid can do 0 to 60 in 5.4 seconds, but I'm going to find out for myself. However, I want to launch it first of all in electric only mode to see how quick it is then when you're just using the 140 horsepower electric motor. So let's time that first. Here we go. Got to make sure no, the engine kicked in. Right, let's see if we can do it without the engine kicking in. How am I going to do this? Definitely in electric only mode. EV. There we go. Here we go. Let's try again. No, it's done it again. Right. Okay. Can't let that bar go above. That's it. No, it's done it again. You bugger. Right. Oi! You're supposed to be in EV mode, you git. I'm going to give it one last go. I'm going to have to be so gentle on the throttle. I've got it in eco mode now. Let's see if I can actually do it. Here we go. Do not kick in. Why is it kicked in like that? I was accelerating so slowly. What is that all about? I've got plenty of battery. It was accelerating so slowly. It's annoying. Some other plug-in hybrids let you actually accelerate more than that on electric power, such as Mercedes S-Class. Plug-in hybrid version of that will let you accelerate much more than that. Anyway, let's actually do a time now with the petrol engine running. So I'm going to go in full dynamic mode, sports mode for the gearbox. Here we are, especially 0 to 60 in 5.4 seconds, right? So let's do it. Yeah. 5.08. That was quick, really smooth as well. Just can't accelerate much in the electric only mode without the engine just chipping in. Now you might be thinking, that performance is pretty impressive, but plug-in hybrids, they're always very expensive, and indeed this very car I have here with all the equipment on it and the fact it's the 510 horsepower version costs £115,000. However, the starting price for the plug-in hybrid is only £4,000 over the normal P400. That's right, £4 more for the P440. Car normally starts at 80. And it's £84,000 for the P440. Who on earth is buying the normal P400? Who are they? Why would you do that? I mean, the plug-in hybrid doesn't look any different than the normal car. No one knows. The only difference is this feature here. Look, you get an extra flap here for the charging port. This is the only difference, the only way it looks any different. You get the idea. Oh, while I'm round the back, I should point this out. Look. You may think these are fake exhausts, but they're not. They're all real. All real. All real. Yeah. Eco-friendly and stylish with big exhausts. Sounds quite fruity when you rev it as well. On the inside, it's just like a normal Range Rover Sport. So, yeah, nice quality, very comfy. You got those chairs with the armrests like that. Great elevated driving position. Big infotainment screen. And that brings you on to the slight changes for the plug-in hybrid. So there's this menu screen here which will show you how much petrol you've used and how much electricity you've used. Also, you have some slightly hybridized dials here as well with your battery charge indicator and whatever driving mode you're in, whether you've got the EV mode. Speaking of which, that's the button to engage the EV mode, and you can actually choose between hybrid, EV and save. What save actually does is just hold the battery so it'll run on the petrol engine so that you can save your amount of charge. Say if you need to drive into a very low emission zone and you need to be driving on electric power alone. Now, I'm not going to go into full detail on the rest of the interior because I've reviewed the Range Rover Sport, and if you want to see my full in-depth video review of the full car itself with all the driving elements and all that kind of stuff, click on the pop-out banner up there for the link in the description below. Here in the back seats, there's no difference between the plug-in hybrid and the normal Range Rover Sport. So decent knee room, decent headroom, really nice, comfy seat bases, good quality. There's also the same problem like with a normal car. There is no 7-seater version available like you get with the Volvo XC90. So if you want a plug-in hybrid that can carry 7 people, you might want to check out my video of that car. And you can do that by clicking on the pop-out banner up there or the link in the description below. Let's check out the boot, because it's always a problem with plug-in hybrids, usually smaller. Not here though, you get the exact same 835 litres of space as in the normal petrol version. Brilliant. Oh, and there's this divider as well. Whee, look, I'm not sure whether that's so brilliant. It's quite useful. I'll tell you what's not really brilliant, and it's this. There's nowhere to store the load cover. Right, you have to just have it there, so it might get crushed when you fill the boot full of stuff. And that brings you on to 5 annoying things about the plug-in hybrid version of the Range Rover Sport. Due to all the electrical equipment on board, the plug-in hybrid is 400 kilos heavier than the standard petrol version of the Range Rover Sport. That means that it weighs 2.7 tonnes. 2.7 tonnes! That's obscenely obese. Some plug-in hybrids give you the ability to charge the battery actually using the engine, which is handy if someone's forgot to charge it and you need to run it on electric power alone, maybe to like creep silently back home when you've you come back later than you promised your wife you would have, should have. Exactly. So you might be wondering what you've been up to. You haven't been up to anything. Always remember, you've not been up to anything at all. The towing capacity of the plug-in version of the Range Rover Sport is 500 kilograms less than the normal version. You think you're going to be able to keep the bags with the electrical cables underneath the false boot floor. Like, oh yeah, look, probably fit under there. But actually, that doesn't really work, does it? The official economy figure for this particular car is supposed to be 328 miles per gallon. The real world figure is 27.9 miles per gallon. The reason for that is because of the 3,240 miles it's been driven, just 617 were on electric power alone. Oh dear. But that's the reality. Most people drive these cars without plugging them in. However, it's not all bad, and that brings me to 5 good things about this car, because regardless of that, while it might not save you that much at the pumps, it will save you in terms of company car tax. You see, over the previous generation version of the plug-in hybrid, they've doubled the battery size, so it's now 31 kilowatt hours. It means that this latest plug-in hybrid Range Rover Sport can do up to 70 miles on electric power alone, and as a result it goes into a very low benefit in kind company car tax band. If you have the P440, it's just 5% per year. It means that if you buy that car for £84,000, you will pay just £1,700 in company car tax each year. By comparison, a 1.5 litre petrol Golf basic model will cost you almost £3,000 a year in company car tax, because that's taxed at 30%. And that's how the Range Rover Sport plug-in hybrid is a little bit like Al Capone in the way that it dodges tax, though it does it perfectly legally. Another good thing about this latest plug-in hybrid version of the Range Rover Sport is this, look. Look, 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 look! As well as AC charging, which is all that most plug-in hybrids can do, it also has DC charging, so you can charge it up to 50 kilowatts. That means you can charge it to 80% full in less than an hour. Also, unlike with many other plug-in hybrids, this is a proper hardcore off-roader. Look, you've got all the usual off-road driving modes like you have with the standard Range Rover Sport, including a wading depth of 900 millimeters, even though it's got all that electric gubbins on it. The plug-in hybrid version of the Range Rover Sport also gets rear-wheel steering as standard. That brings the turning circle down from 12.5 metres to 11 metres, which is exactly the same as that 1.5 litre bog standard Golf, which is obviously a much smaller vehicle that I mentioned earlier. You can actually preheat or pre-cool the cabin of the plug-in hybrid version of the Range Rover Sport using an app, and you can't do that with the standard car. Let's see what this plug-in hybrid Range Rover Sport is like to drive, you know, as your daily. I'm on a motorway, I'm doing about 40. I need to semi-accelerate to pass a slow vehicle, so floor it, and I tell you what, Whew. Sometimes with plug-in hybrids, you have to wait a while for the electric motor, the petrol engine, the gearbox all work together, come to an agreement, and then decide to make the car go faster. With this, I floored the accelerator and it all just worked really seamlessly. The electric motor just gave me a boost straight away, and before I knew it, that petrol engine was up and on song and it was all going great guns. That was really quick. And there's this. I can actually put it into electric only mode. Let's see how fast we can go in electric only mode. So 60. Will it go all the way to 70? It's made it to 70. Anything over 70 is actually breaking the law. I know how fast it'll go, right? Because I did my research, obvs. So it'll do 87 miles an hour in electric only mode. That is incredible. I tell you what, when you're just cruising along in electric only mode, this is really relaxing. Although my ears are now picking up a bit more wind noise than in the standard Range Rover Sport. There isn't any more wind noise, you just notice it more because there's not a petrol engine going bah. Well, it doesn't have to go bah. It's quite a quiet petrol engine, but it does make some noise. And your ears normally drawn to that rather than the wind noise up here. Overall though, the decibel levels will be lower. Anyway, going to go back into hybrid mode now. Hybrid, there we are. It's really smooth the way it does that, the way it brings the petrol engine in. You do hear it wake up if you floor the accelerator like that. It's quite a nice noise to tell you the truth, but the transition is so smooth, the way the electric motor and the gearbox and engine work together, really, really smooth. No jolt or anything. Oh, there we go, it's good. Like this. Now, one of my initial concerns about the plug-in version of the Range Rover Sport is the fact that the added weight will really affect the way it drives, because they have added quite a lot of weight. So that means I have to fit stiffer suspension to stop the car leaning so much in the bends, and it doesn't seem to lean much more than the standard Range Rover Sport when you throw it through a corner. Seems pretty good. To be fair, the Range Rover Sport isn't the sharpest SUV on a twisty road to begin with. If that's your kind of thing, you need a Porsche Cayenne, and if you want to see my 4-in-depth video review of that car, click on the pop-out banner up there or follow the link in the description below. However, it still does all right, and it sort of hides its added weight really well. It doesn't feel that much more lethargic on a twisty road than the lighter standard Range Rover Sport. I was also worried that by fitting stiffer suspension to keep it nice and level for the bends, they'd end up ruining the car's luxurious ride quality, the way it can soak up bumps, but it seems to soak up bumps really, really well. Maybe a little bit more jiggly than the non-hybrid version, but I can't be sure. I'd have to back the cars to be really clear about it. All I can say is that this seems more comfortable than some plug-in hybrids from BMW, the BMW X5 plug-in hybrid or the Mercedes GLE. It's got that really nice wafty feeling. So then, what's my final verdict on the Range Rover Sport plug-in hybrid? Should you avoid it? Should you consider it? Should you shortlist it? Or should you just go right ahead and buy it? Well, I think the plug-in hybrid version is the no-brainer. It's the one to go for. However, you get the same problem with it as you do the normal Range Rover Sport. You may as well spend the extra and get the proper full-on Range Rover, because the same thing about the plug-in hybrid version applies to that as well. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like. Let me know if you agree with my verdict in the comments below. Click on those windows there for some more videos, and on that box there to go to carwow to sell your car. All you have to do is upload some photos, give a brief description, then dealers all across the country will bid on your car. It's easy. Thanks for watching.